What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be grading every 2025 NBA first round draft pick. And the first overall pick is Cooper Flag. And I think I definitely got to give him probably an A plus pick. I mean, the Mavericks really couldn't mess this up. He's a generational talent. I'd say he's somewhere in between like Kevin Garnett and like Jason Tatum. Like I understand both comparisons. I think he's like the size of Jason Tatum with like similar defense, I'd say, to Kevin Garnett. And he's a solid ball handler like Tatum in the fact that he can also be like an offensive engine. So I see his career playing out very much like how Tatum's is, especially on a team like the Mavericks. They're probably going to be able to build up a solid, like kind of like dynasty kind of thing, like how the Celtics have it. I think it should be a very relatively similar situation. Although I think he'll be more impactful off rip for the Celtics, or than Jason Tatum was on the Celtics. I think he'll be more impactful on the Mavs, and I think he's going into a really good situation that will really help his development. The next pick is Dylan Harper. And yeah, Dylan Harper is kind of like he's like a combo guard, I guess you'd say. He's like 6'5". I mean, a lot of people are saying he's similar to like Cade Cunningham, and he said his favorite player is Cade Cunningham. So I could definitely see it. I mean, I don't know if the Spurs need another guard, but they definitely have a lot of talent on that team. I think he's definitely going to be a really good pick. Definitely a really great player overall. Like you know, overall, yeah, just really good player. I mean, he's got a really good skill set. Really good downhill scorer. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good things I feel like you could say about him. He's just overall really good player. I think they got a really good player here, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they use him and see how they use like the rest of their depth and everything like that because that's a really deep team, and is you know I wonder who gets the playing time and how they're really gonna utilize everything. The third overall pick was VJ Escombe, which I really like VJ Escombe. I mean, he's got a lot of upside. He's very explosive. Um, he's got a lot of upside. Really solid playmaker. Um, like defensively, and I mean, I think his shot will probably come around. Right now, he's like, I think he's pretty solid though overall. Um, yeah, I mean, he's just a really interesting player. I mean, there was some people really thought that Ace Bailey was going to go here, but I really think that VJ Edgecombe was a probably better fit for them. I mean, that's who they went with. I feel like all the draft like drama and everything that um what Bailey was doing really like messed it up for him and was really ruining his like draft stock. But yeah, I think Edgecombe will be a really good player. I don't know how the Sixers are going to utilize him. They got a lot of really good guards, so I mean, I think he's another kind of combo guard kind of guy, 6'4", do it all. Really explosive player. It's not he's not the best like on and off ball kind of guy. Like I feel like he just needs to find his role. Like if he could find his role, then he'll really be able to really excel at this level. Um, Next is Kankanubu. Really good shooter. He's probably the best shooter in the class. I mean, yeah, overall just like really good player. Um, we got to see how good his defense is going to be. I mean, he's solid so far, but we'll see how it holds up at this level. Really good passer. Yeah, I think he's just a really overall like underrated player. I think he's a really good pick for the Hornets. I think the Hornets had an overall really good draft. I mean, yeah, in this video I'm mostly getting into the specifics of the players, but I think that overall I'll definitely be talking about some how this is going to implement on the team. I think he could be a really good two guard that could be like they could have, LaMelo at the one. They could have him at the two. Miller could be at the three, and then Bridges, and then whoever their center is going to be. Um, since yeah, they traded away Williams and they traded away Richards last year, so I guess we'll see who their center is going to be. Um, but yeah, it's a really good talent, and it's interesting to see how they're going to utilize him. But yeah, he definitely complements them well, and they're going to have a lot of size on that team. And yeah, Ace Bailey, really good, dynamic like scorer, shot maker. I mean, he's big too. He really is like a really good offensive player. Um, he plays a lot like really hard on defense. I'd say I don't know if he's like a great defender, but he's definitely got all the physical tools to be a really good defender. And I think in his primary offensive role, he didn't get to showcase that as much. But I think he definitely could be a really toolsy defender. He's got the size, the athleticism. But yeah, he's a really good, prolific shot maker, shot taker. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He'll probably be like a point forward kind of thing. I mean, he's 6'8", kind of like 6'9", 6'10" in shoes. So yeah, maybe think like a, I don't know, like any type of point forward that you think of, maybe like a Apollo kind of. But I think he might be a little more polished. Like he shoots a solid percent from three. Like he's a really good overall like shooter. So I think Paulo maybe like not as much of a downhill scorer, but better on like the overall just like offensive shooting and everything and like everything like that. Not like from three, but just like shot taking perspective. I'd say think around like Paulo. He's going to the Jazz, so we'll see what he does there. I mean, they definitely could use a wing, and there's a lot more minutes and like ball handling minutes and stuff like that opened up since Sexton he got traded. So yeah, I think there should be some good minutes for him. We'll see what him, Cody Williams, I'd say Kessler, and what all these young guys can do, like Hendricks and Collier, all those guys. We'll see what they can do. Trey Johnson, another one of the better shooters in the draft class. Overall, really really solid player. Yeah, he's just really good shooter. He's a dynamic shot maker too, so he can really shoot from like anywhere on the court. Really good offensive player. He's gonna play hard. He's gonna give you really good effort. I'd say he's pretty polished too. I mean, I overall really like Trey Johnson. I think he could be a really good two guard on really any team, and I could totally see him being like a, I don't know, maybe like just think of like your favorite shooter, but like add like some solid defense and a little bit more, shot making and like overall like complete. Like he comes in with pretty complete, and I feel like he mainly needs to focus on in the arc type of stuff, like in the paint, that kind of stuff, but shooting wise and everything like that, overall, just really good.
And then we got Jeremiah Fears, who 6'3", 180. So he's got a solid height. I think he definitely needs to get bigger and stronger. He really needs to fill out his frame. And I think he's definitely the best point guard in this class. Um, yeah, I mean, it seems like he's a pretty good scorer. He definitely broke out this year. He's a really good playmaker. Yeah, I think he just needs to become a better defender because he doesn't have a lot of strength and size to really like maximize, his defensive talent. I don't know how great he'll be as a defender. I feel like lifetime he's gonna probably be like not a great defender. Like he's just doesn't seem like he has the tools to be that great of a defender. But he's not really that small. Like he's pretty tall, solid height for a point guard, like pretty average. Yeah, I really think that he's the best point guard in this class, and yeah, we'll see what he does in the league. He's going to the Pelicans, so he'll probably have a chance to start until DeJounte Murray comes back. So we'll see. I think that there's a really good player there, and I think he's just going to have to see if he can maximize himself defensively, and he's just going to have to overall, see what if he can develop and see what type of player he can turn into. I think that he really shot up overall in like his giraffe stock and everything like grew a lot as time went on, and I think that he overall had a really good season. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what he can do over there. They definitely need a point guard, so we'll see what he can do there. I don't know. The Pelicans overall didn't have a great draft. Like, yeah, you got a really good player here, but we'll see later that they did a really bad trade. But yeah, that's Jeremiah Fears. Number 8 is Igor Demon, who I mean, he's a solid player. He's not the type of guy you want to be getting at number 8, especially when you're the Nets with all these picks. He's really just like a big point guard. Maybe think of like a big pass first point guard. Um, that's not like a great scorer, I'd say. So maybe think Tyrese Halliburton, but not as good of a passer probably. Um, and he's a little bigger, a little taller, but he's pretty skinny. I don't know. He doesn't it just the overall like all their picks are kind of for me like they all are very similar players, and I feel like the Nets just did not have a really good draft overall, so it just doesn't really move the needle for me. I feel like with all the ball handlers that they got, so I mean he might be the best out of them, he might not, but there's just not going to be enough minutes to go around with all the point guards, and then you got two shot chuckers on their team. like in Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. So it's not going to be a great year for the Nets. I just think that they could have done a lot better in this draft. I mean, yeah, he's a great creator and he's really good in the pick and roll, but he's a streaky shooter, and you really want your point guard to be a really good shooter. I don't know why you'd want to not like a streaky shooting point guard. I mean, one of the jobs of a point guard isn't to just pass, but obviously you got to score too, and a big part of that could be um, in the 3 point shooting. So yeah, overall he's kind of he's a little raw. Like he just has to get better. I feel like at shot making and stuff like that. Just get better at shooting. So we'll see what he does. But yeah, he also struggles with turnovers. So as much passes as good of a passer as he is, and as many assists and stuff that he racks up, he also will rack up a lot of turnovers. So that also kind of messes up him for me. I just don't see him. He shouldn't have gotten there that early. Kyler Murray Boyles is a really solid player. I think he's one of the better forwards that is in this draft class. Um, he is like a hybrid kind of player. He is a big man, so he's kind of like a power forward center type of build. But I definitely think he should play power forward. I mean, he plays with tremendous toughness, I'd say, and he's a solid playmaker and great defender overall. I think that he just needs to find his shot and just figure out, what his purpose and role is going to be, on the team. I mean, on a team like the Raptors, they do have a lot of forwards. We'll see what they do if they make any trades. I feel like they got a very uh heavy like team, and like all the salaries and everything, they have too much money, I feel like, on their books for a team that's probably not going to be that good. I don't see them really making it past the play in. Maybe they'll be in the play in, maybe they won't, I don't know. But yeah, I just overall I feel like it's not a really great team. And yeah, we'll see what type of playing time he gets. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll take like Olynyk's spot as like a backup 4 or 5 type of thing. I feel like just like him and Mogbo are both undersized, so I don't know how they'll really work off the bench. So we'll have to see his role, but I think that he definitely has a lot of potential, and he could be a really good player. I just think he needs to find his role and be like defined in that. Cedric Howard, definitely a little bit undersized, I'd say. He definitely is like here's the thing, like he's undersized height wise, but he has a really good wingspan, and I feel like he has a lot of upside, and he could be a good defender, and I think he has some tools, that in like that he could do that, and he definitely is like he's a good shooter, and I think that he definitely has like a prototypical kind of guy to me, maybe like a Mikal Bridges type of thing. Like maybe he could be like a 2-3 kind of, the smaller twos and threes. But he could shoot well. He's got the really long wingspan. He really checks a lot of the boxes that NBA scouts and stuff like that are looking for. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what he can do. He's kind of like a wild card though, because he only played 6 games this season. Before that shoulder injury. And so it is a little bit of a wild card, very limited sample size, but he showed a lot of impressive chops, in the games that he did play. So he's really just like an upside pick. And for a team like the Blazers, I think that's all you could really ask for. They're not great. They did have a really good second half of the season. I feel like they got a solid coach and overall like some really good players. They just got to get off of a couple contracts. They just got to figure out what they're trying to do. I know they got off of Aiton, so if they can get off of Robert Williams, then that'll be good, and just let Klingon do his thing. And I think they also drafted they might have drafted another center, I think. So yeah, I think they got to just figure everything out, see what they're doing, and just yeah, overall just I think it's a good upside pick, and for them they need somebody like that. It's like end of the lottery, so we'll see. Essengay is a really interesting player. He could be like a 4 or 5 kind of tandem kind of thing. He's like a rangy forward center type of guy who, he's going to compete on both ends of the floor. He's a high level player. He did play overseas, so I feel like he garnered a lot of attention there. It's not, it's not the same, but he has been playing against grown men for a little while, so I think he's more of another upside kind of swing type of pick. And like the Bulls, they need to just get talent like that. I mean, he could probably replace Patrick Williams off rip day one, because Patrick Williams just isn't really giving them anything. So, I mean, for someone that's going to compete on both ends of the floor, can get to the free throw line, solid passer, and really good overall defender, I think that he'll bring a lot to that team. And I really am excited to see what he can do for a team like that. And, maybe they'll either commit to tanking or maybe they'll make a playoff push. So we'll see how he helps them. But I think it's a bright future. Then Derek Queen. I really love Derek Queen. I think he's a really good player. I just wish that he was like 6'11". If he was like 6'11", 7 foot, it would be no problem. Like he could be a Sabonis or a like prime Valanciunas, maybe like a cat, but not, not shooting the three ball, but like just a really prolific downhill scorer, playmaker from the center position. But he's really undersized, so I see him being like a Zach, what's his name? Zach, what's his name? You guys know what I mean. I forgot his name. Zach Randolph. Yeah, Zach Randolph. I could see him being some type of player like that. I could totally see him being like just one of those really score first kind of big men, center, power forward type of thing. I don't know how he's gonna fit with Zion and Misi. They're all kind of like undersized. None of them really can shoot. So I'm looking to see him off the bench, see what he can do, see if he can grow as a defender, see if he can, get better at shooting. Because I think if he could shoot a little bit more and get better at defending and kind of see like a year two, like a Shangoon type of thing, I think he could definitely be a player like that who, a little bit more undersized, but he'll grow into his frame, he'll grow into his body, and I really like overall. I just like his utility. Like he's a very like you can use him in a lot of different ways, and he's an offensive engine as a center position, which is very rare. So I think it's an upside pick for the Pelicans. I don't. I think the trade in general like was a bad trade, but I think that we'll see what he needs. We'll see how he pans out in the league. So yeah, I think that's what we'll see, and that's what's really going to be the determining factor if it was a good pick or not, and if it was a good trade. I mean, yeah, they might give up a top like 10 pick, in that trade because the Bucks are probably not going to be very good, and they give it the Bucks pick. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, I think he's a good player. I don't know if I'd say that you should have picked him there with all the compensation that they gave up. Carter Bryant, he's I think he's a really good player, really sleeper, more like another upside pick, really strong two-way wing. He's got a lot of length shooting, and he's a solid passer, defensive versatility. Got a lot of that. So I think that overall, there's a lot of these type of guys that you're seeing getting picked in the lottery or around the lottery that are like upside swings, 3-and-D kind of guys that are going earlier and earlier every year in the draft. And I feel like, overall, it's a really, really solid archetype, and you could really get a good player like a Derek White or some type of OG Anunoby, Denny Avdia. Like that's the type of guy. Herb Jones. Like everyone wants to have that guy that can just shoot the ball, that can just be a good connecting piece, and I think that is exactly what he could be. He didn't have a really high usage rate, and overall, like I think he still might be a little bit raw, but I think that if he can grow his game as like a decision maker and a ball handler and just continue to grow and just develop, I think he really has a bright future in this league. So yeah, really really good type of prototype, I'd say. And then this was the pick, Thomas Sorber, another undersized kind of 5 man. I mean, he's got a great wingspan and a lot of length, but he's only 6'9", and as a center, I don't really see him working out that well at the 5. I mean, maybe if he could develop a shot, then we'll see. But he kind of is just more of an interior presence. I mean, he's an upside kind of guy, but it's the team like the Thunder. The Thunder, they don't need to draft anybody that's going to play right now. They probably don't want them to play right now. So it's just an upside pick. It's just a type of pick that you just want to see what happens, see if he can become anything. I mean, he just has to grow overall a lot and to really polish his game. But it's an upside pick, and it's we just got to see what happens with it. This was the big change in the draft that nobody saw coming. This huge, enormous Hansen Yang. Just nobody thought this guy was going to get picked in the first round. He was a 35th overall rank, and everyone thought he was an early second round, maybe mid second round type of prospect. And the Blazers absolutely shook it up by drafting him. Nobody was expecting that like he was going to get drafted. So I mean, he's huge. So he's 7'2", 9'3" wingspan. He had 2 strong seasons in the CBA, like the Chinese Basketball Association. I think that overall, and it had a good combine. He's pretty raw. We just got to see what he can do. If he can floor space at all. they say he's like the Chinese Jokic. I don't know if I'm buying into that, but I think him and Klingon just being massive human beings, just solid defenders, like just being like, seeing if he can grow his offensive game. I think that the Blazers are building a little bit of something, getting off of the old, see if they can get off Jeremy Grant and, just start building this young core up. So I think it's a big, massive upside pick, and we'll see what happens with it. Joe and Behringer, one of the few like I'd say like undersized centers. Um, he's been improving a lot. Got a really good length, really good size, solid rim protector. Yeah, overall he's more of a defensive first guy. So I feel like if he could just polish his game offensively and just get to some post scoring and just figure out like his offensive game, just polish that up, his handle, all that type of stuff. I think yeah, he'll be a good upside pick. And yeah, I mean he already has the defense, so just get a little bit more polished and it's an interesting pick. Um, for the Timberwolves, I guess they did need some more size, so it makes sense. And then here's a pick I really like, Walter Clean. I mean, he's just a tremendous scorer, dynamic guard that he'll probably be off the bench. I'd assume he could be starting for them since Jordan Poole's gone, but overall, no matter what role he is, he'll probably just fit in there great. I mean, I think that he's just an amazing downhill scorer. Just he just has to. I mean, really good shooter. Like overall, just great offensive player. He just has to be the best defender that he can be the best passer he can be for his size, and overall his physical tools is the only thing that holds him back. But I think that he could definitely be a great addition to the Wizards and help them out a lot. But I don't know the way they picked him. It's an interesting position. He could have gone later, definitely, but I like the upside swing. Nolan Traore, a lot of people were talking about him. I feel like a long time ago. But yeah, he's a really you know reasonable size type of guard. He's pretty skinny though, so if he can grow it into his frame, I think he could be good. I think he just overall just has to polish himself. Like all these guys that come from France, they usually solid defenders. They usually like they just know how to play the game the right way. But if he can overall just figure out like polish himself up, just develop. I think he could be something. I don't know about the fit in Brooklyn. I don't know. Just the Nets, I don't know, man. The Nets are just not really making good picks, not making good smart decisions. So I don't know if it's going to pan out on the Nets, but I think he has a chance to definitely to be something. I think he just has to figure himself out, just grow into his body, and he's skilled enough. He's creative. But yeah, he's very similar to the other guys that they drafted. So I don't know how much he'll really stand out, but yeah, I mean, I think he could grow into something. Just gotta polish himself up. Yeah, Kasparis Yakachonis. I mean, he's a really good playmaker, and the Nets probably should have got him in one of their picks. I mean, tremendous passer. I think that the Heat really got a steal here. Just great passer, offensive player, just playmaker. He's smart. He's 6'5". He can play the point guard. He can really do anything you need from a point guard. Just do it all kind of guy. I think that overall, where he just struggles is like shooting and turnovers, but he can really just become like a great player off the bench, maybe in like a TJ McConnell type of role, something like that. I think he could really succeed there and just be a really good overall player. I think that this was a steal to get him this low. The Nets should have definitely drafted him. Will Riley's a very interesting, really big guard. I think he seems like one of those Wizards type of guys, like the Bilals and those kind of guys that can really just like the big guards, any type of big guard. Just think about them. He is like a wing scorer, but I guess they have him listed at guard, and he'll probably play guard, maybe two guard. Just really good, um, aggressive like downhill scorer. I think that he needs to grow probably with his shot, but overall his game is pretty fluid, at least offensively. He just has to figure out overall his whole game, if he can become a better perimeter defender, if he can, shoot the three ball better, like he has to polish his game up. But for a late first round pick, I think it's a good upside swing, and you'll see what he can do among with your other rookies that you drafted. Drake Powell, another bigger guard, probably gonna play the two guard. I mean, 7 foot wingspan, just overall just 3-and-D perfect like archetype. I mean, maybe like he could play like some type of Norman Powell, Mikal Bridges. Like think about that type of 3 and D type of thing. I think he's got a lot of really good physical traits. He's a strong player. We just got to see what his overall role is going to be like this at the next level. For a team like the Hawks, I mean, they do need a guard off the bench. Maybe him and Kobe Buffkin, or him and whoever else. We got to see what type of role he'll have off the bench. But yeah, I mean, maybe he could start next to Trey Young. Good size, but they already got enough guys there. I feel like so he could just play off the bench, just develop at his own pace. So I really like to see. Oh, he actually went to the Brooklyn Nets, not the Hawks. But yeah, and I thought it was the Hawks for a second, but they traded it. So yeah, it's just oh yeah, and also like Will Riley, was traded to the Washington Wizards, so he is gonna mash up there with all their type of guards. I mean, they got a lot of guards, but we'll see what happens there. I think just he could be a really good player. We just got to see. There's too many guards on the Nets, man. They got to trade some players. But yeah, they didn't have a great draft. But yeah, he's a really good player. I definitely think I could see him being a really good player, and we just got to see what happens with him. Um, yeah, disregard what I said before. I mean about the Hawks, but yeah, he should be able to carve out a role. It's just the Nets just not having a good draft, man. Yeah, Asa Newell, undersized 5. He could be a really good size 4 though. He's got mobility, and yeah, overall he's like a really solid defender, I believe. Um, I don't know too much about him. I think that they took him at a reasonable place. I mean, a lot of people had him going earlier, but he's very very effective. Still pretty raw. I think that he just has to, you know, he just has to figure out his role. Is he can be a 4? Is he can be a 5? Like, I feel like it's a weird place for a tweener like this with his skill set. So I think yeah, he should probably just be. He just needs to develop. Um, yeah, I think he just needs to develop. We'll see what Atlanta does with him. But yeah, I think just give him some development. Let him play maybe next to some of their other centers there. Like maybe he could play next to Porzingis. Like he needs to play probably next to stretch 5 because I don't think he's got a very well developed shot. But overall, he could be a good upside swing, and they got him at a really good place. Nick Clifford, who's going to Sacramento, so very interesting. Yeah, they probably do need a guard after De'Aaron Fox left. Maybe him and Keon Ellis could be good. I mean, they're both kind of shooting guards, but yeah, I mean, he just has to fit his role. He seems like he could fit in probably any role, but like once he figures out his role, then I feel like that's what he needs to do. I mean, he just needs to, improve his outside shooting, continue to grow there. I think that he just got to, continue to grow into his frame and just use your physical tools. Like you're a pretty big guard. Yeah, just use your physical tools, and we'll see how he fits in at Sacramento. I don't really know how good he'll fit in there, but we just got to see. I mean, it's a solid pick, just upside. Jace Richardson, I think he fell a lot, but he's just it's because he's a small guard, but he really could be a really good scorer off the bench. I think he's going to be an energy guy, like another TJ McConnell kind of like guy. I think he still needs to build upon his like skill set. He still can grow a lot, but he's got really good shot making and he plays really hard on defense. So I think if he can just grow into himself and just continue to develop, we'll see, what he can be. But yeah, I think of a bench prolific scorer that's going to give you energy off the bench. Uh, we got a big guard here, Ben Seraph. I don't like the pick at all, to be honest. They just didn't need another guard. I don't really got to talk too much about him. Just didn't need another guard. They all kind of play similar, like playmaking first guards. None of them are really score first kind of guys. But yeah, he's not a great shooter. I mean, he's not physical or like not great built physically at all. Pretty skinny. So yeah, I mean, we just got to see what he can do defensively. But yeah, the Nets. I like Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf's a good player with some really good playmaking chops. I mean, I think he's kind of like a little bit like Derek Queen in the way where he's like a playmaking, scoring first kind of center forward kind of guy. I think he'll definitely play center. Great shooter. He's known for his shooting, handles the ball like a guard. He didn't shoot great, I'd say, but he is a good shooter. He has the capability, and I think that it will scale to the next level. He just has to work on quickness and explosiveness because he just isn't. That's not what his game is. But to play center at the next level, he'll definitely need that. And Hugo Gonzalez, he's probably just draft and stash. I don't really see him playing. He's very very raw. Um, but yeah, we'll see what he does. Just very raw, very inconsistent. I mean, he has some potential to be something, but I don't really know what he's gonna do. He didn't play a lot. He's just the upside kind of pick. Celtics don't really need him to play. And then Liam McNeely, steal of the draft, honestly. I mean, great player, really good, big shooting guard, huge big shooting guard. Um, One of the best shooters in the draft. I mean, the Suns just had it, or Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte had a great draft. I mean, they really upgraded a lot. They also got a center later in the draft that I think was really, really good. I honestly wanted the Knicks to draft him, but yeah, Lee McNeely, great pick. I mean, I don't know. I think a team should have just traded up for this pick, but yeah, really good pick overall. Like he was very, very hyped up. I'd say several months ago, so he to be like a really top pick, but he fell a little bit. I don't really know why, but great 3 point shooter. He can shoot really from anywhere on the court. I think that he just has to score off. Like beside, he needs to just be more efficient. Like he needs to score outside of just 3 pointers, and that's where he struggles a little bit. But I think he'll be a good shooting guard. Probably bench role. I mean, I don't really think that they're going to play him and whoever they drafted earlier in the draft. I'm kind of blanking right now, but I don't think they'll play them together. But yeah, yeah, Concanupo. I don't think they'll play them together, although maybe they could. But yeah, I think that he just gotta be on the bench, maybe take that Seth Curry spot, and yeah, I think it's a really good pick, a really good player. And then the last pick was, I'm not even gonna try to say that name. Y'all can read it, but yeah, he's more of just another upside swing. He's a solid size center. Yeah, just the upside swing. I mean, honestly, like he could be a really good defender. He's pretty explosive, but just got to see overall what happens with him. But yeah, I don't know. It's a solid pick, I'd say. I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. It's the last pick of the draft. You can't really like mess that up. But yeah, we'll see what he does in the league. He's got some physical traits and stuff that he could become. Just like I said, just got to fill out his frame a little bit. And yeah, he's kind of raw, but last pick of the draft. So yeah, we'll see what he does. See who he can become. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me out for the algorithm. I'll see y'all in the next one.